Here are the top stories for today, June 9, 2020. More than 36,000 distressed and affected Filipinos have already been repatriated in the country. A bill has been filed penalizing customers who will cancel their food and grocery deliveries that have already been paid in advance by riders. PCOO Secretary Martin Ananar says President Duterte will never condone impunity. And Secretary Ananar urges netizens to be vigilant by reporting dummy accounts. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. More than 36,000 OFWs have been repatriated as part of the government's efforts to assist and bring home distressed and affected Filipinos abroad due to the pandemic.
Kinakalibrate natin yung pag-uwi nila. Yung sa land base po, paiba-iba po sila especially now that some of the economies are opening up. Like for example, Dubai is open already. So yung ibang mga tao po, pag nakakahanap sila ng mga trabaho, hindi na rin po sila bumabalik. But definitely, since the cruise ships po stop operating since March, meron po talagang 30 to 35,000 sea-based workers po ang pauwi talaga sa ating bansa.
Meanwhile, reports from the Department of Foreign Affairs show that more than 5,000 OFWs were confirmed positive of the coronavirus disease. Families of these OFWs must coordinate with the DFA for the shipment of the remains or for their cremation. Ariola assures OFWs that the government will continue to extend whatever assistance they need, be it legal or otherwise, whether they are documented or not.
Medyo nalulungkot po kami. We have 5,392 confirmed cases. All over the world po yan. Majority ng ating mga kababayan na infect ay nasa Middle East po. 2,791 dito ilalim na po sa gamutan at 2,231 po ang naka-recover. Unfortunately, 370 po ang pumanaw. Lahat po ng kanilang mga kamag-anak ay kailangan lang pong makipag-ugnayan po sa Office of the Undersecretary for Migrant Workers Affairs para po sa shipment of remains. Meron naman pong mga pagkakataon na doon po sa mga lugar na pwede po ang cremation at in-elect na rin po ng pamilya na i-cremate ang katawan po ng kanilang mahal sa buhay.
The Department of Labor and Employment agreed that returning OFWs whose homes are outside Metro Manila should not stay beyond 5 days in the Metro Manila area. Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III says OFWs upon arrival will immediately undergo polymerase chain reaction tests for COVID-19 so that they can be immediately sent home if they tested negative. Meanwhile, the Negros Occidental Provincial Government is preparing for the arrival of more sweeper flights for stranded Negrenses in Metro Manila. Governor Eugenio Jose Lacson and Bacolod Silay Airport Manager Percy Malonesio led the inspection of the installation of thermal scanners and swab testing booths at the airport. The flights are expected to arrive within the next 3 days, starting today. The trips from Manila are expected to depart at 11 a.m. and arrive in Bacolod Silay Airport at around 12:30 p.m. Locally stranded individuals in Negros Occidental and Bacolod City can also book for seats on a return flight, which will leave at 1 p.m., while those who have previously bought tickets from PAL for Bacolod-bound flights need to rebook to take either of the sweeper flights. The provincial government organized these sweeper flights with the Philippine Airlines to ensure that stranded and returning Negrenses will be given priority in all flights until June 15. In Bicol, close to 1,000 OFWs were assisted in returning home. OWA Bicol says 424 assisted OFWs are from Albay, Camarines Sur with 235, Sorsogon with 95, Masbate with 77, Camarines Norte with 61, and Catanduanes with 57. Some 70% of the displaced Bicolano OFWs are sea-based workers, while 30% are land-based. Under OWA's Uwian Na program, returning OFWs were given airport assistance after being flown through sweeper flights. This includes endorsement to patient care centers where they would undergo the mandated 14-day quarantine. Good news for our displaced OFWs. 2 companies are offering 8,000 jobs in the country. Optum Global Solutions and EMS group of companies said they have coordinated with the DOLE's Bureau of Local Employment to be able to connect with Filipino workers who have lost their jobs abroad. Optum Global Solutions is looking for nurse case management specialists, clinical operations specialists, and customer service specialists. Interested applicants may send their resume via email. Meanwhile, the EMS group of companies urgently needs workers for its plants in Technopark in Batangas and the Laguna Technopark in Biñan. The applicants must be at least 18 years of age and may also send their resumes via email. Still to come, Senator Bongo reminded the Balik Provincia Council to implement strict health protocols. And a bill has been filed penalizing customers who will cancel their food and grocery deliveries that have already been paid in advance by riders. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Sa dinami-dami ng usapin ngayon tungkol sa COVID-19, nangingibabaw ang tanong tungkol sa expanded testing. Ano nga ba ang expanded testing? Bago natin sagutin ito, mahalaga munang malaman natin kung ano ang confirmatory test para sa sakit na COVID-19. Ang reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction o RT-PCR ay isang laboratory test na tumutukoy sa mismong virus sa loob ng tao. Ang RT-PCR ang siya lamang test na ginagamit upang makonfirm ang sakit na ito. Kaya nitong alamin kung may virus na sa katawan ng isang tao bago pa man lumabas ang sintomas. Kaya naman sa ating expanded testing, RT-PCR ang ginagamit natin ngayon. Hindi ito katulad ng rapid antibody-based tests o RATs na tumutukoy lamang ng antibodies sa katawan. Sino-sino ang kabilang sa expanded testing? Sa expanded testing, ang mga sumusunod na mga tao na may history of travel sa isang lugar na may COVID-19 o nakisalamuha sa taong may COVID-19 ay sasailalim sa RT-PCR test. Una, mga pasyenteng may malubha at kritikal na kalagayan. Ikalawa, mga pasyenteng may edad 60 pataas, pasyenteng mayroong ibang sakit, o mga pasyenteng may maselang pagbubuntis. Ikatlo, mga pasyenteng may bahagyang sintomas. At ikaapat, iba pa nating kababayan at mga healthcare workers na walang sintomas ngunit may travel history o contact. Mayroon na tayong mga laboratorio na kayang gumawa ng RT-PCR sa Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. Sa kasalukuyan, layunin ng ating gobyerno na tumaas pa ang health system capacity ng bansa upang matest sina lolo, lola, kuya at ate na pasok sa populasyong kailangan ng testing. Ginagawa natin ito upang mabigyan ng tama at agarang atensyong medikal ang mga pasyente at para matukoy ang iba pang tao na nakasalamuha nila. Mahalaga ang pagpapatest sa paglaban sa pandemya, pero mas mahalaga kung mapapanatili ang kalusugan ng ating katawan. Mas mainam kung lalabanan natin to ng sama-sama. Ika nga, prevention is better than cure. Mag-exercise, kumain ng tama, practice cough etiquette, sundin ang 1 meter rule sa physical distancing, maghugas ng kamay, at higit sa lahat, kung maaari ay magstay at home. Samahan kami sa susunod na video para malaman ang kaibahan ng RT-PCR sa RATs.
You're still watching the PNA Newsroom. Senator Christopher Lawrence Bongo reminded the Balik Provincia Bagong Pag-asa Council to ensure that stringent health protocols are strictly followed to prevent the possible spread of COVID-19. He said the council should also exercise proper coordination with receiving local government units. Go issued the reminder even as council leaders assured that implementing agencies are going to great lengths to ensure that all protocols are being strictly followed. The second batch of beneficiaries will depart for the provinces starting June 11. The validated and assessed beneficiaries from Metro Manila are set to return to various provinces in the Visayas and Mindanao in the coming weeks. Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa Council Executive Director and National Housing Authority General Manager Marcelino Escalada Jr. said another health protocol of antibody rapid test and allocation for test kits has been made for the succeeding batches aside from the standard medical clearance and certificate of quarantine. Executive Secretary and BP2 Council Chair Salvador Medialdea has assured that the Council has been careful in ensuring that returnees under the Balik Probinsya program undergo the protocols from departure to the arrival phase, whether through the member agencies or in coordination with the LGUs. Local government units are urged to form localized quick response teams for localized lockdowns, and backriding is still prohibited in the country. More on these from Marita Mawai.
The Department of the Interior and Local Government said local government units imposing localized lockdown in their communities must organize quick response teams that shall carry out the test, trace, treat strategy against COVID-19. DILG Secretary Eduardo Año said, while the IATF-EID has given LGUs the authority to impose localized lockdowns, the imposition comes with the responsibility to implement the strategy to contain the disease. He said each LGU must have an available data on population, number of barangays, population density per barangay, quarantine facilities, treatment facilities, mapping of cases, syndrome surveillance, and testing kits before actual implementation of the localized lockdown. Meanwhile, Defense Secretary and National Task Force Against COVID-19 Chairperson Delphine Lorenzana said local government units need to strictly implement health protocols to prevent the spread of the disease. Lorenzana said they will assess the developments on the epicenters where many cases were recorded. He said the government has sufficient stocks of personal protective equipment sets and they will deliver it immediately either by land, air, and military transport. In other news, Malacanang warned that show cause orders may be issued against local government units that failed to implement the no backride policy among motorcycle riders. Earlier, President Rodrigo Duterte thumbed down the request of Cebu Governor Gwen Garcia to allow backriding despite an executive order allowing backriding on motorcycles within the province.
We will certainly call the attention of General Sinias of NCRPO. Kailangan hulihin po yung mga nag-backride at dun sa mga local government units na nagkukonsente nito, well, siguro po pwedeng issuehan sila ng show cause order.
For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Marita Muaje.
No more cancellation of food delivery orders. This as a party-list lawmaker has filed a measure seeking to penalize the cancellation of food and grocery delivery orders that have already been paid in advance by delivery riders. Ako Bicol Party List Representative Alfredo Garbin filed House Bill 6958, which aims to provide protection to individuals engaged in the food and grocery delivery services. Among these are Grab Food, Lala Food, and Food Panda. Under the bill, violators will receive a penalty of prisión mayor or at least 6 years of jail time and a fine of 100,000 pesos. Violators shall likewise be required to reimburse the food and delivery service providers for the value of the food and grocery items and will have to pay twice the amount of the transaction fee. The bill mandates food and delivery service providers to require its customers to submit a valid proof of identity and residential address or proof of billing for registration. Governor Arthur Yap of Bohol says the province has to diversify its economic activity at this time of the pandemic instead of concentrating on tourism alone. During a video conference with NEDA Central Visayas, Yap said diversification is the appropriate way of managing the economic progress of Bohol now that the region is easing restrictions. He said the province should focus not only on how to reopen our tourism, but also on food production. He said the provincial government is willing to invest in building an economic zone to diversify the economic activity of Bohol. Yap said he already discussed this matter with DTI, as there have been reports that many companies are moving out of China and that they would like to relocate in other parts of Southeast Asia. Up next, PCOO Secretary Martin Andanar says President Duterte will never condone impunity. He also urges netizens to be vigilant by reporting dummy accounts. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Mga mommies, pagdating sa COVID-19, dapat hindi tayo kampante. Bagamat hindi nakikita ang sakit na ito ay nakamamatay. At hanggang ngayon wala pa rin lunas. Kaya protektahan natin ang ating pamilya. Laging maghugas ng kamay, huwag hahawakan ng mukha, at manatili sa bahay para makaiwas sa sakit na ito. Tandaan, buhay ng pamilya natin ang nakasalalay dito. Let's hear this one.
Alam niyo ba na pumapasok ang COVID-19 sa ating katawan sa pamamagitan ng mata, ilong at bibig? Kaya lagi kaming conscious dito sa bahay kapag umuubo kami. Lagi kami naghuhugas ng kamay in 20 seconds. Pag lumalabas kami, lagi namin suot ang mask. Lagi lang natin tatandaan mga mamshi. Buhay ng pamilya natin ang nakasalalay dito. Let's heal this one.
Alamin ang tamang paraan ng pag-ubo upang mapigilan ang paglaganap ng Coronavirus Disease 2019. Ugaliing magdala ng panyo o tissue. Kung uubo o babahing, takpan ang buong ilong at bibig gamit ang panyo o tissue. Kung walang dalang panyo o tissue, maaaring gamitin ang braso na pantakip. Kung nakararamdam na kailangan umubo o bumahing, agad na dumistansya sa mga tao sa paligid. Huwag dumura kung saan-saan, gumamit ng tissue at itapon sa basurahan. Ugaliin ang paghuhugas ng kamay at paggamit ng alcohol o hand sanitizer upang mamatay ang mikrobyo. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
The Presidential Communications Operations Office assures the United Nations that the Duterte administration will never condone impunity. This as PCOO Secretary Martin Andanar dismissed as faulty the findings of the UN Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, which cited key human rights issues in the country, including the war on drugs and red tagging of communists. Andanar maintained that government undertakings have observed due process, which is part of why President Rodrigo Duterte enjoys high trust and approval ratings until now. He said it has never been the policy of the administration to undertake programs and measures at the expense of human rights, due process, and rule of law. He, however, vowed to continue to constructively engage with the OHCHR in providing facts and being transparent. Earlier, presidential spokesperson Harry Roque rejected the report, noting that the government respects the Filipino people's human rights. A women's group on Monday called on women and the Filipino people to understand issues at hand first before reacting emotionally amid a surge in protests on the proposed anti-terrorism bill. Grace Ibuna, president of Movement of Women for Change and Reform, or Melchora, made this call to answer the tweets of Miss Universe 2015 Pia Wurtzbach and actress Angel Locsin, who opposed the proposed bill. The two celebrities said their rights would be endangered under the measure. Ibuna said while there is no problem to voice out dissent, pushing for democratic rights should not be used to cause anarchy. Ibuna added that this is why the women's sector should support the anti-terrorism bill, as it will be a means for the government to protect its people, especially from abuses by the state. She asked everyone to give the measure a chance, as it will help push for peace and order in the country. Amid reports of Facebook users discovering dummy and duplicate accounts online, the government calls on users to stay vigilant and help stop the spread of these bogus accounts. More on this from Chris Mundo.
Presidential Communications Operations Office Secretary Martin Andanar on Monday urged netizens to be vigilant by reporting dummy accounts on Facebook and other social media platforms. Andanar described the sudden surge of fake FB accounts as alarming and disturbing, especially since the said accounts were using the names of thousands of people. He likened the proliferation of bogus FB accounts to the spread of fake news and disinformation used to manipulate public information and violate the security and privacy. He also warned those who create fake accounts in fake news that they can be made accountable for their actions. For its part, the PNP said its anti-cybercrime group is ready to act on the complaints behind the so-called ghost accounts of many Facebook users. PNP Chief General Archie Gamboa assured that the PNP is doing its best to monitor illegal activities on social media. Gamboa encouraged social media users to report fake accounts using their names. As of Sunday night, the DOJ Office of Cybercrime has received 112 reports from users with dummy accounts. Meanwhile, Malacanang is challenging House Deputy Minority Leader and Bayan Muna Representative Carlos Duterte to file charges if he could prove that the national government is behind the sudden proliferation of fake Facebook accounts. Duterte claimed that the creation of fake accounts may be a prelude to a crackdown against dissenters once the proposed Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020 is enacted into law. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque urged everyone to avoid making conclusions without evidence in the time of a pandemic. He assured that concerned agencies such as the National Privacy Commission are already investigating the matter. Facebook Philippines said it was looking into the surge in fake accounts and other suspicious activity. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Chris.
Malacanang is urging those who plan to stage their customary Independence Day protest to take their assemblies online and avoid mass gatherings amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque explained that if online protests were held on Labor Day last May 1st, the same can be done on June 12. Roque made this remark following the arrest of 8 protesters in the University of the Philippines, Cebu, who are opposed to the anti-terror bill. Roque said that although Cebu is under general community quarantine until June 15, the original proposal was to classify it under a modified enhanced community quarantine. He pointed out that Cebu City has the highest number of COVID-19 cases at over 2,700. On Friday, June 5, 3 students, 4 members of progressive groups in Cebu, and a bystander were arrested by police while holding a rally inside the campus despite warnings against mass gatherings. The DOST Philippine Council for Health Research and Development has released nearly 300,000 pesos to support a local researcher to continue her studies on antioxidant and anti-arthritic activity of citrus fruit peels. The beneficiary is Fatime Mariano, a pharmacy graduate of the Universidad de Zamboanga, who earned her Master of Science in Pharmacy from the University of San Carlos in 2018. DOST-9 Director Martin Wee said the grant will be used to obtain materials to test antioxidants as well as characteristics that can deter arthritis in the peels of citrus lemon and citrus sinensis. He said the study serves as preliminary research for future drug product development. The research also aims to establish an initiative for sustainable development by using waste materials that contain potential benefits for the improvement of human health. Mariano is among the pool of 24 researchers from different member institutions of the Zamboanga Consortium for Health Research and Development. And here's another look at today's biggest stories. More than 36,000 distressed and affected Filipinos have already been repatriated in the country. A bill has been filed penalizing customers who will cancel their food and grocery deliveries that have already been paid in advance by riders. PCOO Secretary Martin Andanar says President Duterte will never condone impunity. And Secretary Andanar urges netizens to be vigilant by reporting dummy accounts. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. To check out more news content, check our webpage or head onto the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also, watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC 13. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day and stay safe.